toxicological implications of allowing such a product to come in. And under no circumstances would him, unless of course that day he's gotten delusional, and I don't think Alex is going to get delusional anytime soon. Under no circumstances would that paint come in. So the question is, how is that breaching our ports of entry?
Kwame, my understanding, if you don't mind, my understanding is that in some of these cases, it's not the actual paint that's being imported, it's the components for mixing paint that are imported.
It doesn't make any difference.
But
those of us who are drug analysts and chemical regulators and have degrees in those areas would tell you that if you are importing active constituents, they still come under the same regulatory ambit as the finished product.
Precisely. The point I was going to make, was that it's not the importer that is claiming that it's from America. It's the guy who then buys the components and mixes it under a tree in Ghana, who then calls it American paint.
I'm going to that. Okay. No, I'm going to that because I'm referring to the documentary. You said the documentary that sometimes the products come in drums. I am quoting verbatim from the documentary. So it is not all of it that comes in as active to be constituted. Some comes in as finished product. So I am going to go to the active itself. And then when it comes to the active ingredient, which gets into this country and goes to the agbobloshis of this world to be constituted, the person constituting it might think that he is getting a cheap product to beat down the price compared with one produced in Ghana. And you see, cheap is relative. It might be cheap in price, but overall it is more expensive than anything else when you bring in the health consequences of using that product. Because if you think about all the congenital issues that might come up, you wouldn't risk using that product.
So at this point, with the laxity in the regulation as it is, how does a Ghanaian protect himself and ensure that he doesn't end up, painting his house with poisonous lead-filled paint?
I think I'd leave that to Alex because that's down to regulation. We need to get our regulatory framework sorted out, and we also need to get our point of entry collaboration between customs and the regulators sorted out. But the details of that, since we have a regulator on, I'll leave that to him.
Right. In fact, we also have Kofi Kapito, who's the CEO of the Consumer Protection Agency, on the line. Let's touch base with him real quick. Kofi, thank you for your time. Good morning, sir. Do we have Kofi Kapito on Zoom? If you can unmute your microphone for us, please, sir. Okay, we're working on that connection to Kofi Kapito. But Finto, you had a question for Prof. Dodo, didn't you?
Yes, Prof. I just quickly then, if you go to the market, it's clear to us now that there is actual American paint, and then there is this so-called American paint that is poisoning us. Without all of the regulatory protection, how can consumers tell, for example, when you go to the market, which paint to buy, which one not to buy in order to protect yourself? What should consumers look out for?
Okay, so let me sort of bring some clarification to what Dibody said. When things are imported to Ghana, if they are not food, medicines, and cosmetics, they broadly fall under the regulatory control of the Ghana Standards Authority. When that happens, we use our law. In fact, the Fees and Charges Act says that if you bring a product which doesn't have a certificate of conformity, which means it doesn't conform to our standards, we seize them. So even though there is no specific mandatory standard, we have a general law, and that works. So any paint that has been legally imported and we have in our database, and we normally try to publish them operationally, you can buy with confidence. So there is an element of protection. When it comes to locally manufactured paints, we have a 1970 legislative improvement. At the time, he said you cannot sell a product in Ghana unless it's certified. And to the extent that it's not been repealed, we try to stretch it. But it is filled with nightmares because it was based on the 67 law, which has been repealed, and the penalties are 25 new CDs, and you can't enforce it. And that is why we fought for the Standards Act. Now, what we are now trying to do in the Standards Act is to make the standards for paints mandatory. How do consumers protect themselves? Number one, we will publish, and if it's a weakness on the part of the Standards Authority, I will not tweet the list of locally manufactured paints that have been certified and that are safe. We shall also, and I'm talking about today, not tomorrow, publish more boldly the list of all imported paints that have come through the Ghana Standards Authority. Anything else that we have not certified nor accepted as safe for use in Ghana by allowing them to be imported will be outside our knowledge, and they will be illegal to all intents and purposes. For only one reason. If even the standards are voluntary, once the goods come to the country, we check them at the ports. So if the Standards Authority allowed it to come in, then that's our weakness. But we will not do that. But if we have no knowledge on how it got into the country, through the border posts, land posts, then that is a separate issue. Secondly, when it comes to local manufacture, all the locally manufactured certified paints meet Ghana standards. We are aware of the mixing points and other joints, as we've all discussed, and those are the ones that we're also going to request that once the standards are mandatory, the minister has the power to say that you cannot even manufacture it unless the Standards Authority has given you the authority to do so. So there is a good level of protection. It relies on a generous interpretation of the law, which I have been using. I always say I have to be progressive in the law. If the law is not black and white, but it protects consumers, I'll go for broke. Yes, it lands me in trouble, but I mean, you can never be a public health advocate without running into these troubles. They are worth fighting and dying for. So those are the things we use. But beyond that, I will be pushing fully to ensure that these standards are mandatory. Once they are mandatory, from importation to export, I mean, very few Ghanaians will know that the standards for cement indicate that it must have certain mandatory things in terms of if they came in legally. The country of origin, the color, I mean, all those things that you would expect should be there. Do we have them? No. Because you need the brand name, you need the batch number, country of manufacture, date of manufacture, the color as stated by the manufacturer, and so on and so forth. We have good standards, but they are made mandatory and they are enforced. Well, I would say the mixers will continue mixing because some even buy existing paints and then top it up with a lot of lead and other things. I don't know where they get it from. They call it blending, so that they will give you a brighter shine. So take any of the popular brands, they buy it, and then they mix it, or rather they optimize it for higher one, and they also call it American paint.
All right. I think we've re-established our connection with Kofi Kapito, the CEO of the Consumer Protection Agency. Kofi, thank you for your patience. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Right. Now, you've heard the documentary, you've heard our two guests so far, and Prof. Dodu says, look, even though there might not be specific mandatory requirements for the upholding of standards when it comes to lead content, there are some general laws that protect us. So, do you agree, first of all, as a consumer, if I walk into the market today, am I legally protected? If I end up buying...
No, you are not.
Why
you are not
so?
protected at all. For the simple fact that the regulator or regulators are making excuses to regulate whatever they have. Mr. Yankee, let me tell you what. There's nothing called American paint. They are paints made in America. Okay, so if the regulator himself is admitting that there's an American paint, I have a problem. Okay, Dr. Sapper on your TV said that since 1978, lead is banned in America. So how come somebody is bringing paint? Look, the paint that is on the market, we don't even know where they are from. And my biggest challenge with the regulators, being EPA and Standard Authority, and maybe possibly Food and Drugs Board, because I think at a certain level it's no longer lead, but it's a chemical. The question is, they are at the port when you are clearing your goods. They are part of the people who come and inspect the goods before you can even take them out. I do import. When you import, I used to import spray starch. When you import spray starch, a box or sometimes even 2 boxes is taken by FDA, same by Standard Authority, and same by EPA, for them to take it to their lab, for them to ascertain whether it is allowed to come to Ghana. If you watch the documentary, the clearing agents, they are conniving with authority, customs especially. Customs need to be looked at again as to how they go about, all in the name of collecting revenue without protecting the Ghanaian. And this thing, customs needs to stop, because customs cannot just sit and just be interested in collecting revenue. Because if the Food and Drugs person doesn't catch it, if the EPA doesn't catch it, if the Standard Authority doesn't catch it, customs should be able to say that no. Look, the whole thing is a cartel at the port. Let's not joke and play with ourselves. If you clear goods at Temahabo, you know it's a cartel. Okay, look, go to Abobrushi, go to Odona, go to Asafo Market, go to Swami Magazine. The people that are making the paint, he's talking about their standards. Are they even allowed to mix the paint, first of all? Because if they are standards, how come they are mixing the paint? They are mixing the paint with what standard? That's the question I want to ask the professor, my good friend, Professor Dodu.
Well, he's indicated that the standards that exist are not mandatory.
So anybody can go and sit anywhere and start putting colors together and make a paint?
Well, until the standards are made mandatory.
Please.
Yes.
Mr. Hansen. All standard. If he says he has the standards are mandatory. I'll go to, look, we've had the opportunity to go to East Africa. To be precise, Kenya. They have the ISO standard. Okay. Then they have the East African standard. Then they have the individual countries standard. I was part of a team that went there. So the question is, somebody is doing this job. In Ghana, some people are not. Okay, EPA. What is EPA doing? This is a health thing, Mr. Yankson. Look, let me even take it to another level. Do you know what is called cable and wireless in Kokumpe?
Yes.
Okay. You know, now they claim that we should, the people that do the plastic chairs and all those plastics, okay, now they say we should do recycling. Go and see the way the people who are doing the recycling at that place. Go and, if you see a human being, he looks like a zombie. The guy is so darker than black because there's no protective gear, there's nothing, and these are Ghanaians. And you see, we don't look at it that if you do it cheap, at the end it will be too expensive. That's what we don't look at. Ghanaians always look at the short term. Oh, I'm going to make money now. He doesn't know that if he makes the money and he has any kidney, all those diseases, he'll end up paying. So the question is, the regulator and government should allow regulators to do their job and stop telling them that order from above. I know, because I deal with these people. Even if a regulator wants to do their job, some party person who should know better, they are the ones who are abusing. And then when the regulator goes and enforces it, they will tell him that you can't do that. That is the problem. Look, it's happened so many times. I'm aware. The Food and Drugs Board, for the longest time, are told that back off is one of us. So how does a regulator do their job?
Let me bring in Prof. Dodu to react to that. Prof, have you been getting orders from above?
So, as a regulator, I will say I do my work to the best of my conscience. I will not, as a regulator, and Coffee Capital knows it, yield to any pressure in respect of health, safety, or the environment. If a product is bad, it's bad. If someone whispers, and I always use this phrase, if someone says, oh, Jubilee House is, ask them which part of Jubilee House. Because never will a sitting big man tell you not to do anything. But people will come and use names of people. My office, everybody knows the rules. I will tell you that, let me have it in writing. And I've never had any instructions in writing not to enforce. And if my very nature is that, I will still enforce anyway. If it lands me in trouble, so be it. And I've been in trouble enough. Let's give Ghanaians the assurance Ghanaians need. Because in programs like these, we have highlighted very serious problems. And they are genuine problems. Are we solving them? The answer is a big yes. From a position of no law, by 2022, we had a law, 2022 June. I'm glad Coffee Capital is on the line. I have met Coffee Capital. We have discussed extensively the issue of paint regulation and other things, but I'll restrict it to paint. I have mentioned the gaps. I would also concede that Coffee believes that we are too slow and so on and so forth. And as a consumer protection agency, he's right. I mean, I'm not going to fight him on his beliefs because his beliefs are for the good of the public. So he believes that we are too slow. But I tell him that as a technical agency, there are rules and regulations. Kofi knows that I extend, in fact, overinterpret the laws and do things that are on the margins of the law. They are legal things to protect consumers, but you stretch the law. In most cases, Ghanaians are quite obedient. Once you clamp down, they will not take you to court. But we've had recalcitrant little minority who know the law, and they will tell you point blank that you don't have the power. When I reach there, I back off. Because pragmatically, if I push it, I'll lose in court. And that will rather send a worse message. So what are we now doing? We are now using the legal provisions. Are we better off with paint? I believe so, because those we have certified are good. Are we also having the problems with paint? A big yes. And why? The mixing industry, as I call them, has just ballooned over the past 5 or so years. Maybe 10 years. I don't have the figure. So we are having a big part. And in fact, the genuine manufacturers in Ghana and importers are feeling the pinch. And they have made a lot of submission that, please, we need stronger legislation. And I tell them, stronger legislation requires inspectors, they must be paid for. It also requires the legal process to be clean. So really, this issue is good, but there has been a call from the Ghanaian paint industry, that is the local manufacturers and the importers, to do something, because they actually blew the whistle on the mixers in town, that the people are mixing here and there. That's where we got all the intel from. And we have acted on the intel. We've met them twice, and we are hoping that we can move forward with it. So yes, there's a problem, but yes, we also are weak, developing the solutions for the problem, because we are aware of the problem. And if we do nothing, it won't go away. Of course, we are all aware, and I don't need to give a lecture that we should be getting to a stage where most of this is in terms of importation we will be restricting because we are also developing. In fact, we have quite a big capacity for local manufacture with all the benefits that you know that I don't need to go into. So yes, we have a problem. I will admit, but I will admit that we are solving the problem.
Kwame, I'm going to leave yes, Kofi, you have to hold on a moment, please. Kwame,
Sure.
I have to give you the final word here. Recommendations and the way forward.
You see, Kofi and Kojo, the recommendations for me are simple. I have said it and I'll repeat it. It seems our port has become a place where poisons are deliberately leaked into the country to come and kill us by a cartel. And I'll tell you why. Yesterday when I was told to come and speak on this, I was monitoring the Joy portal and I realized that some contraband medicines, including tapentadol and carisoprodol, had been picked up in Tamale. They had gone through our port and had been picked up in Tamale to the tune of 20 million Ghana cedis and had been destroyed based on intel. We are aware, after the BBC documentary, that the FDA came out openly and said, yes, they also picked up some intel. Some went through and they required a court order to destroy it. Now we're seeing from your documentary clearly clearing agents conniving with people at the ports to get these products through. The solution is fix that port. Yes, it's true that the regulation is required. We need to enforce the law. We need to make it mandatory and binding. But we need to also prevent these from getting in the first place. And we also have to realize one important thing, which is they are using the already depleted foreign exchange we don't have to go abroad to go and get these things to come and poison us when we have a capacity for local manufacture. This is just a putrid mix of some cocktail that I cannot understand. And like I said, the solution must start from the port. We need to fix that port because too many things are coming through, and someone needs to take a good look at customs and tell them it seems that they are not fit for purpose on the basis of what we are seeing.
Right. Kofi, I want to be fair to you and give you just a moment to wrap up your final thoughts. 30 seconds, please.
So your documentary that you did, which showed places that this thing is being done, which he knows is illegal, because Ghana, you can't just go and buy any paint and start mixing. The manufacturers like Sikins paint, like Coral, all those places, they do mix paint, and they do the proper required paints to be mixed. He should take his team, go to Odona, go to Abogloshi this morning and go and see, because anybody who is mixing paint in Ghana is doing it illegally, because we don't allow people to mix paint like that. Okay, because even if you are mixing the paint, there should be protective gear, there should be all those things. Are they having them? So for him to tell me this, that there's no enforcement, I am very, very sad this morning as a Ghanaian consumer, because it means that the regulator cannot protect me. And that is my fear. But when a regulator says that he can't, there's no enforceable law, and he sees somebody is doing illegal stuff, right? I mean, for crying out loud, what are regulators doing? Like the doctor said, it is a cartel. Like I said, I've cleared goods at the port. I see the way they do things at the port. Like when the former president Atta Mills, may he so rest in perfect peace, was bold enough to go to the port and shake the port. I want President Mahama, okay, don't do a party task force. Do people with integrity who would make sure that this illegal act at the port is nipped in the bud.
Right. Right. A big thank you to you, Kofi Kapito, Kwame Sapwan-Siedu, and Professor Alex Dodu. We've really appreciated your time with us this morning. More coming up after these.
Gold Coast Leadership Conversations, Building Leaders for the Nations. The University of Gold Coast presents Ghana's premier leadership series, bringing together top executives, policymakers, and diplomats for 2 transformative sessions this March at Gold Coast Hall, University of Gold Coast, formerly Accra Business School, Spintex Road, Accra. On Saturday, March 22nd, Sir Sam Jonah, former CEO of Anglo Gold Ashanti, will share strategies for corporate governance and sustainable business growth, equipping leaders with the tools to drive resilience and ethical leadership. Then, on Saturday, March 29th, the Honorable Shirley Ayoko-Botry, Secretary General of the Commonwealth, will explore how international partnerships can accelerate Ghana's economic development. This event is free and provides a unique opportunity to engage with industry pioneers, connect with peers, and gain real-world solutions to today's leadership challenges. Seats are limited. Register now at www.ugc.edu.gh/event or contact Charles Can at 026-050-0444. Media partners are Joy News, Joy 99.7 FM, Love FM, Adum 106.3 FM, Inshira FM, Joy Prime, Joy Online, Adum TV, Hits FM, and Asempa 94.7 FM. Gold Coast Leadership Conversations, March 2025, Building Leaders for the Nations.
All right, you're welcome back. I've got a message here that I'm halfway through reading. It's very interesting. I'll share with you in a bit. But let's get through some business first. And listen, the next time you fly from Accra, why don't you fly better with Emirates? Emirates Economy in fact, with Emirates Economy, you can get a taste of your destination on board with complimentary regionally inspired meals. And as you savor each course of delicious gourmet cuisine at 40,000 feet, you can toast to new adventures with complimentary beverages, and it's the perfect way to start your holiday. Of course, you can expect world-class service along every step of your journey. You get so much more in Emirates Economy. Enjoy more convenience and flexibility to over 140 destinations within the Emirates Global Network. Find out more at emirates.com.
And I'm calling all Obrumankuma, Odapajan, and Osun. When you hear these heroic names, the Purple Pride of Salpon is calling. Invansman Girls Senior High School and the All Girls Association invite all parents and alumni to the 66th anniversary speech and prize giving day. Is happening from March 13 to 16, 2025 at Salpon. Join the celebrations as the host year group returns after 25 years. Enjoy career mentorship, an awards night, and a grand ceremony honoring outstanding students and staff. The weekend concludes with a Thanksgiving service. Reconnect, network, and create lifelong memories with the Infansman family. Don't miss out on this exciting event. Infansman Girls or Branyawara Bo.
Love it, love it. Okay, now listen, if you are thinking of studying abroad in Australia, Canada, the UK, US, Ireland, New Zealand, or any of these countries with an excellent reputation for teaching and research, if you'd like to work part-time to support your studies, if you'd like up to 4 years post-study work visa, well, all of it is possible with Astolinks. Just go talk to them for information about admissions, scholarships, and how to secure your study visa. Astolinks are at number 4A Popo Street in East Legon. You can call them on 0265 341 070 or just visit astolinks.net. Astolinks, pathway for success.
And could you, if you are tired of all the power outages or high electricity bills,
I am.
Then switch to Moved Solar Energy for reliable, affordable, and sustainable solar solutions. We specialize in the sale, installation, and maintenance of premium solar panels, durable moved inverters, and long-lasting batteries, all backed by a 2-year warranty. With Moved Solar Energy, you enjoy uninterrupted power supply, reduce energy costs, and contribute to a greener environment. You can contact us today on 0543 062 503 or 0538 108 109, or visit us at Tantra Hill around St. John Baptist Church for a free consultation. Do not wait. Make the switch to solar energy today. Move to solar energy, powering your future with the sun.
All right. Now check out kingdomstoreonline.com, where you can get the best quality office essentials, equipment, furniture, and stationery from Kingdom Books. You can pay via Momo online for whatever you buy, and then you'll get delivery, very quick delivery to your home or office. Now, if that home or office is in Accra or Tema, then your delivery is free. Terms and conditions do apply. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
Yes, Enjoy Business and the University of Gold Coast invites you to the Gold Coast Leadership Conversations 2025 as follows. It's on March 22, 2025. The topic for this year is Global Leadership and Corporate Governance Strategies for Sustainable Business Growth. Our guest speaker is Sam Jonah, renowned business leader and statesman. It's on, and then on March 29, 2025, we have another topic: Global Leadership in Action, Harnessing Commonwealth Partnerships for Economic Growth. The speaker for that day is the Honorable Shirley Ayokoboche, Secretary General of the Commonwealth. The venue is Gold Coast Hall, Accra Business School, at 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Admission is free. To register, go to ugc.edu.gh/event, or better still, call them 0260 500 444 for more information.
All right. Now, listen, Fentu, you are about to meet old students of the best secondary institution this country has ever produced. You are about to be dazzled.
Sense bias.
Oh yeah.
In that introduction.
Oh yeah. It's not bias if it's true.
It's not bias if it's true.
All right. So here they come. In just a moment, Fentuo is going to be honored by the presence of St. Augustine's past students.
Are you an old student?
You better believe it. You better believe it. Look,
you see, last week I spoke to the old Achimwashans.
This week you are promoted. Speak to the Absus. That's right. Here they come. In just a moment.
Yeah, but Kojo, before you bring them in, have you reserved your seat? Yes.
Hey, look, I hear the seats are going fast.
I'm talking about the Volta Adventure.
Yes.
So what are you waiting for? Don't be one of those people who like last minute. Let me tell you, the seats are running out very fast, and trust me, you cannot get this experience of a lifetime anywhere else at this rate. It's all part of our Ghana Man celebrations here at Joy at the Multimedia Group. I'm talking about the Volta Adventure. It's being organized by your radio for discerning listeners, Joy 99.7 FM, this month, and it's from the 21st to the 23rd of March 2025. Now, with just 3,500 Ghana cedis, you will get to experience the Pando zip line, the Tafe Atomic Monkey Sanctuary, the Mount Gemi, the Amejofe waterfalls, and the canopy. Yes, among others. Okay. This will also include a 2-night stay at a plush Volta Serene Hotel with Bobobo experience, a variety of local dishes, nightclub sessions, and a movie night. You will also have access to the game room at the Volta Serene Hotel and lots of other recreational facilities at the hotel as well. All this seems way too many stuff to do for 3,500 Ghana cedis. That's not all. All patrons will also get to cruise on the Dodi World with lunch and entertainment before they get back to Accra.
One too.
Remember that you will be refreshed on the journey with natural juices from Ekunfi on top. I love Ekunfi juice. Woodin also has loads of fabrics to give away. And every adventurer will be given branded Joy FM souvenirs. Now, yes, you heard that right. It's only 3,500 cedis for everything. All meals, accommodation, tours, and the entire experience. And there are no hidden costs. Sign up now by making payments via the Momo number 0593 038842. 0593-038842. The mobile name is Daniel Boyfio. You can kindly reference your full name and take a screenshot and then send it to the same number after payment. The closing date is on the 18th of March. After that, we won't be accepting any more payments. The Volta Adventure is brought to you by Woodin, Serene Insurance, and Okunfi Fruits and Juices. The Volta Adventure. Experience it joyfully.
All right, listen. Fasten your seatbelts. The Absus are coming right after these. What else?
7 FM. So to cheat from Fancy Gadam featuring Sakode. It's coming up to 52 minutes after 9 a.m. and I've been joined by some old students from APSU St. Augustine's College. Head Business Committee APSU 2G Herman Eduse is here. There's also Frank Kofi Boedi, member of the Computations Committee, APSU 2G, and Kofi Akwalache, Governor, APSU 2G. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Good morning to you. To what do we owe this pleasure? 95th Speech and Prize Giving Day. Tell me all about it.
Well, 95 years of delivering remarkable education to Ghana, 95 years of contributing to building Ghana's legacy. I mean, we can't tell this country's story without Absunians. So we're here to remind all of Ghana that for the past 95 years, and in this big year, APSU 2G is powering great celebrations in Cape Coast. We're aiming to shut Cape Coast down this week. Our girls did it over the weekend, and we're topping it up. So that's why we're here, to tell all of Ghana that Absunians are still contributing to building this country.
Amazing stuff. Tell me about the lineup. The lineup then this weekend. What should we expect? What's happening?
So we're starting on Wednesday. Most of us are going to get out of the city, and then there'll be a lecture in Cape Coast on our anniversary theme, which is leveraging innovation towards economic and social sustainability for the next generation. Okay. We're not only thinking now, we're thinking the future. And the future is innovation, technology, and science. We listened to some of the conversations you had just before we came in. And the foundation of everything, if we're talking policy, if we're talking about dealing with these issues, science is at the heart of it, and innovation. So that's what's informed us. And we'll have a lecture delivered by one of our own. He's currently a lecturer in Cape Coast. Okay. Yeah, and Professor Sam. Okay. And he'll do that lecture for us. And on Thursday, we'll have the float. I'll let Herman push in on the float.
Herman.
Yeah, so
I love floats.
So the float's powered by Piva drinks.
Frank Ajay.
Yeah. He was our mate,
Frank is our mate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he happens to be the chairman for the occasion as well.
Oh, wow.
On the speech day, actually. Yeah, so that'll be powered by Piva, supported by JK Industries with all the branding they'll be doing for us as part of the sponsorship they've delivered. Okay. And that, like he said, we'll be painting Cape Coast green. I mean, you can see what we are wearing. We are people of sustainability. And as a wear, Cape Coast would feel sustained even as we go through the streets of Cape Coast. With our floats on the Thursday, we would also have a bonfire and torch light procession in the night, and it will be an amazing thing with the kids.
Is that also on Thursday or that's on Friday?
That's the same Thursday as well. We will have it on the same Thursday. Now on the Friday, we would have a medical outreach. Okay. So that we can also impact the lives of the people within the Cape Coast community. So we have a medical outreach, health screening, as well as some games with the students. I mean, just so we are able to keep fit and then also engage the students. And then we have our annual congress, which is one of the hallmarks of the anniversaries we have every single time. On Saturday is when we have the speech and prize giving day proper, and I can bet you, it's gonna be lit. I mean, on the Friday night, I think we'll be having a bonfire as well. I mean, fireworks that will light up the skies of Cape Coast. We have the military coming through by our own guy from the Ghana Navy, and it's something to look forward to. So again, the highlight of Saturdays are the unveiling of our legacy project. And like he mentioned, it's all about science. We're actually rehabilitating 3 science labs in the school. Yes, so chemistry, physics and integrated science labs. And then we are also putting together the rehabilitation of a lecture theater which can seat about 200 students. So you can imagine what has gone into it. Now, the beautiful thing is that we've gone beyond this to actually also deliver an enviable washroom project all across the houses of the school. That was not part of the original plan, but that is what we do for the love of the school. We are rehabilitating all the washrooms. We are giving them 4 boreholes to improve the water situation in the school. And these things we are doing because we love the school and we want to keep contributing to the legacy as we have it.
Okay. So yes, go on.
Yes. So the climax which he mentioned as unveiling the project, was heavily supported by some corporate institution, Icon Energy. We want to thank them for doing this for us.
Sure.
We'll thank others who also delivered for us.
All right. Any last words before I let you go? Anything you left out?
Yeah, so just to remind all Absunians that the Absu Congress will happen on Friday.
Okay.
We should all move into Cape Coast, and there's also the after party. Like we said, we're jamming, we're blasting Cape Coast, we're shaking the earth around Cape Coast. I mean, if Absunians don't do it, Cape Coast is going to go down. But then also, we're happy for this opportunity Glasgow made us, and we're proud of our alma mater. And we ask every Ghanaian who went to a school here to try and contribute to building education in this country. And we'll always set the pace. Glasgow.
Amazing. Thank you very much, guys. Absinians. So that big event is happening all weekend from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 95 years. That's a long time for one school to be contributing to national development. But thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you, Fenton.
You make me want to go there.
Yeah, I see my Preseg boys already reacting. Yeah, Spencer, quick, keep quiet.
All right, thank you guys.
All right.
Thank you, Fenton.
All right, some old students from St. Augustine's College, 95th speech and prize giving day. It's this weekend. But on our conversation today, we had a very interesting message coming from a Supreme Court judge on all the issues around the regulations or the lack of it around the American paint or the lead-based paint. Now, this message says that the production, constitution, importation, distribution, sale of dangerous and hazardous goods without special permission is unlawful and or criminal. With the necessary legal sophistication, the prosecutorial and regulatory authorities, that's the police and the AG, should be able to nail perpetrators with some criminal offense or the other. The availability of express provisions in the standards regulation law will make it a black and white issue. The regulatory authority may require additional express provisions to deal with gaps and areas not expressly covered by current regulatory framework. Until then, even under the current regulatory framework, there must be some general or residual provision that empowers the standards authority and its related regulatory authorities to deal with unsafe or dangerous goods in the market. Regulators and law enforcement need to resort to smart enforcement because the law cannot expressly, in black and white letters, provide for every mischief or unlawful behavior. Uncommitted and or corrupt officials do lazy regulation to condone these illegalities under the excuse that there are no express laws or provisions. I think that's a very, very educative piece of information that's been sent our way. All right. Anyway, that's our show for this morning. Kojo, yeah, saying
It's been emotional, right?
it has been.
Okay, we're doing it again tomorrow, so make sure you join us for it. But stay on joy till then, okay?
All right.
Have a wonderful day. My name is Kojo Youngson. I'm the morning man.
I'm Fentio Tahiru Fentio.
Have a good one.
Up next, of course, is the
10 o'clock.
And Fresh Met is here.
All right, thanks, Fent. After a series of joy news reports, a team of military and forestry rapid response team yesterday raided the camps of illegal miners in the Tano Anya forest in the western region. 10 excavators and 1 bulldozer were seized and transported to local assembly grounds. But the 3 groups who managed to evade arrest were still operating in the evening. Love FM's Erasmus Donko has been following this and will bring us further details later. Now, Finance Minister Dr. Cassiel Atoforsen says tomorrow's budget presentation to be presented to Parliament will signal a shift toward prioritizing economic stability while enhancing key social intervention programs. Ahead of that, he's been engaging various groups, including traders and the youth. Listen to this interaction with traders in Mokola.
Yes, we are $100 Ghana. I had this. Me say, mama, me unu.
Oh no, I was my member. In Ghana, our price are not stable because of the dollar. It's never to me stable. My yes, the price now. What is the problem?
The problem was the price has increased. It was 1,350, but now it is 1,750. Just 3 weeks.
Just 3 weeks?
Yes.
From 1,350?
Yes, 2,750.
2,750.
So I was returning back. Because
wow.
Well, last night he also engaged the youth in an X space where he revealed a crackdown on wasteful spending to ensure that resources are directed toward productive sectors while prioritizing policies to stabilize the economy.
Cuts in wasteful expenditures, and that is going to lead this budget. We are going to see a lot of cut in wasteful expenditures, and the focus will be on expenditures that drive growth and expenditures that actually add value, but not wasteful expenditures. There was also another question on Galamsey and what you intend to do, also making some allocations to fight the Galamsey menace. I'm working closely with the minister responsible for lands and natural resources